Hello and welcome back, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Justina. Welcome to my channel. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you for joining me today. So here today I'm going to talk about the full moon happening on the 25th of January at 5 degrees of Leo. Here, Leo is a fixed sign, so a lunation in a fixed sign can have long-lasting outcomes and results. This full moon connects to the new moon we had back in July, August. Well, it was at the end of July 2022, but it would have influenced August 22 as well. So see whether you can remember anything that happened, occurred in your life during that time, because during this full moon, you could see that the energies, the people, are also present here. And usually during a full moon, especially if you've been working on a project or if you've been involved in a relationship, something of a significant nature, most likely, then this full moon reveals some really significant information. Things that aren't working become visible, noticeable. It's a time to fix things, move away, let go, and move to the next stage. All right, so this is the third time I'm recording this video this week. I spent 2 previous days and the video didn't seem to be working, or the quality was really poor. So I'm really hoping this time around it's going to work, because I can't spend another day recording this video. Right, so we've got lots of playful energy with a lot of intensity in the air, of course. Pluto is moving into Aquarius, and at this point, it will be already in Aquarius along with the Sun. Lots of transformative energy. And we have already experienced a little bit of that Plutonic energy last year. But this time around, it's very different. It's on a much deeper and greater scale. So lots of transformative energies. And as we approach this full moon on the 18th, there is a very significant first quarter moon, which is connected to that solar eclipse in Aries that occurred back in April at 29 degrees, April 2023. So here, for many people, as Pluto enters Aquarius, and we've got that also first quarter moon of that massive cycle, that eclipse cycle that started in April last year. This could feel like a time of crisis, emotionally speaking, or perhaps there could be things happening at your work. You'll have to make some important decisions. Relationships could be breaking apart, or you could find out some important information and maybe you don't know what to do with it. This is a time to really concentrate and learn a lot about oneself, but at the same time about the situation that you're dealing with. Because it could be that you have to juggle too many responsibilities at the same time. As we explore the transits happening, the aspects around this full moon, you will see what I'm talking about. But here, full moon, yeah. So generally, if you have any placements at 5 degrees of Leo, Aquarius, Taurus and Scorpio, so fixed signs, then you'll be under a greater influence of this full moon. Here, Leo is connected to playful and theatrical energy, lots of fun and entertainment in the air generally. Sometimes during a lunation in Leo, it's difficult to concentrate on the mundane or some complex activities, because we need to find a little bit of creativity, a little bit of fun in the day. All right, so here we've got a few aspects happening at this time. And there is a T-square. I think that one of the most important is this T-square. And it involves the Sun and Pluto conjunction. And this conjunction is in opposition to the full moon in Leo. And here, these luminaries and along with Pluto square Jupiter. So Jupiter becomes the focal planet. Let me remind you, a fixed T-square, or generally a T-square, occurs when two planets opposing each other aspect the third planet by a square. So here we've got Jupiter is the planet of the release, of the resolution. Thankfully, it's Jupiter, because Jupiter is the planet of growth, abundance, good fortune. Of course, as I always say, there are two faces of Jupiter. It's not always so amazing. When Jupiter squares other planets, there could be that tendency towards risk-taking, or perhaps generally to overextend oneself, or overindulgence could be also here one of the themes. So generally it's essential to be mindful, but for us, those who are interested in astrology, we can prepare and we can act when necessary, when needed. Usually a T-square also reveals something that was perhaps overlooked in the past, not visible. It becomes suddenly very visible. And with that fixed energy, it's difficult to break away from the old habits, old routines, toxic people, relationships, situations, whatever it is. We need to implement a little bit of effort, a little bit of that rebellious energy. And here, 27th brings of January brings Uranus in a direct motion. So expect the unexpected around this full moon, because when Uranus stations direct, all these repressed energies that perhaps block that ability to implement some big changes in our lives suddenly become alive and present. Right. So, yes, if your birthday happens around the 25th of January, then this coming year is huge for you, because when a birthday occurs on a full moon, usually we end a phase or a chapter in our life as we prepare for something brand new. And I'm not surprised, because now Pluto moved into Aquarius, and now this is the Aquarius season. So, of course, you are going through massive, massive changes, and you will be in the next few years as Pluto approaches your natal sun. We also have a few interesting or pleasant energies like Mars and Mercury conjunction, which is generally thought-provoking, and it can really encourage some interesting conversations. We also have Venus connecting very nicely with Saturn. This is connected to generally stability in relationships, especially those harmonious and healthy ones. But here, for those who are ruled by Venus, for example, then here Venus and Saturn can create long-lasting outcomes, results, stability, consistency, and so on. I don't want to drag it for too long, so I will just move on into the forecast for each rising sign. You can find the timestamps, as always, in the comment section, but I know that YouTube now has created something really useful and helpful, which is the chapters. So even if I hide the timestamps, if you can't find them, but I do, if I do include them anyway. So Jupiter, YouTube will automatically generate the timestamps. All right, so here, let's have a look at what's going on in your chart. So let's begin. Hello, Aries, and welcome to your horoscope for the upcoming full moon in Leo. So here, Leo and Aries, they are both fire signs. They connect by a trine. So at least here, as we start with this interpretation, we've got already something positive happening here, and nice harmonious connection between the energy of the full moon and Aries, but also Pluto and the Sun are in Aquarius, which connects by a sextile with your ascendant Aries. This is also positive. So this full moon, or the events that follow this full moon, can be of an empowering nature because of that Plutonic influence. We've got the fifth house activation, and the lights are upon the fifth house. The fifth house deals with conception, children, working with young people, but also the romantic side of our life: love, joy, fun, entertainment, business, self-employment. So these themes are highlighted at this time. Now, we are in Aquarius season, so here, this is also a time when you'll be maybe redefining your goals, hopes for the future as well. Here, the full moon, yeah, so you could, for some, this could be conception or conceiving or having a baby, having conversations regarding children. But at the same time, this could be also about a potential development in some work connected to teaching or working with children or young people. Remember that the full moon connects to a larger story. This is when things are revealed, when there is more clarity with the T-square, that fixed T-square. Perhaps if there is some kind of instability in your life, now it might be more noticeable, more visible. Perhaps you need to implement some adjustment changes into your parenting style. Perhaps this is about your romantic relationship. Some things need to be discussed. Perhaps you need more clarification. And this is also in regards to your business. If you've been working on a specific goal, project, business idea since that new moon in Leo in August 2022, this full moon brings or allows you to move forward. But at the same time, with the full moon in the 5th house, which is connected to our inner child, here for some Aries, this could mean that any blockages connected to that ability to express yourself harmoniously, freely, with confidence, here any blockages might also be more apparent. And during this full moon, or generally around this full moon, you might be implementing some necessary changes that block that ability to feel free or to express yourself freely. Remember, Uranus will station direct on the 27th in your 2nd house. So on the one hand, this could be about some financial changes or income-related event, but at the same time, this could be also about implementing some healthy habits that could increase your self-worth and self-esteem. All right, so this is a little bit about this full moon here for you. I don't want to overcomplicate it. See how it fits into your reality. And here your hobbies and interests might transform in the next month or so because of that conjunction between the Sun and Pluto. All right, so let's have a look at Taurus. And here, Taurus, for you, this is happening in your 4th house. And the 4th house is, of course, connected to that very sensitive, emotional side of our life, our family, and domestic life dynamics. Here, something needs your attention here. Something is coming into light. Perhaps this is a time when you will have to find a healthy balance moving forward between your work and home-related matters. At the same time, this is about perhaps your parents might need your help and support. The moon brings that changeable energies. There could be some changes going on in your family dynamics as well. Now, this could be about having an important conversation with a family member. This is also related to hosting a family event as well. Remember that Leo energy is very playful and entertaining. Perhaps you're craving a little bit of fun and you will be hosting a family event, a get-together. But at the same time, with this tense energy of Pluto and the moon opposition, and also Pluto is conjunct or within a close proximity to the Sun, which rules your 4th house. There are some change of energy dynamics in the home area without a doubt. Perhaps a parental figure might need your help, might need your support. This is also about good, healthy time management in these two areas of life. And also for some Taurus, this could be about fixing things at home, whatever has been kind of breaking apart. Now it might actually break down. So what it means, Leo is connected to objects that provide heat or source of heat. So this could be about perhaps fixing or changing your radiators, cleaning your chimney, for instance. Perhaps you're thinking about an underfloor heating. Or on the other hand, this is also about redecorating your home or planning to redecorate your home. Because here, Leo, this is generally a sign that wants to be proud of where they live, of their home. And if you're not satisfied with your home arrangements, then this full moon could make it very apparent for you. Right, so let's have a look at Geminis. Geminis. Okay, so this is happening in your 3rd house, and this Gemini energy is connected here in this case scenario. This is about communication, learning, some news or gossips could be in the air. Perhaps you will be traveling. Movement is often indicated here. So movement, travel here. Leo is connected to castle, palaces, beautiful gardens, theaters, operas. So perhaps this could be also on your mind around this time, and you might really enjoy it if you go for it. Now, at the same time here, this full moon could also make you realize that perhaps you lack some understanding or knowledge in a specific field. Perhaps something to do with your work, career. And if this is the case, you might decide you study, refresh, update your skills. The third house, full moon, is also connected to a completion of a project, perhaps your website, marketing plan, advertising campaign, a blog. Here, this is a point of release, a full moon. So something is coming to light, a little transformation as well, perhaps changes in your community, in your neighborhood. Perhaps your siblings next of kin are going through some transformative changes that will impact you in some way or another. But here, the generally with the third house is also will be popular on social media. Communication is highlighted, and this could be a time of having to make an important decision which would have an impact upon your life, upon your life direction. Okay, so let's have a look at Cancers. Cancers, this is your second house, so that's income, your income, that ability to, or your income capabilities, or perhaps self-worth, self-esteem as well. And with here with the second house, yeah, so this could be about the completion of a repayment. If you've been repaying an object or your car, your vehicle, then this could be about the end of the repayment process, or perhaps this could be about being halfway through finally. Now, for some Cancers, this could be about some changes concerning your finances. Perhaps your income comes into light. If you are dissatisfied with something to do with your salary, then it will become more apparent. This could be also when you will be paying your taxes. This is the end of tax, well, the deadline to pay your tax, at least in the UK. Now, the second house, you could be making an important purchase, financial transactions. Perhaps you're thinking about changing your job and you're just analyzing your finances. And this is definitely could be the case because you are approaching an Aries solar eclipse in April. And here, this full moon influencing your second house could be very much about you thinking very deeply about that financial area of your life with the Pluto and the Sun conjunction, or that close proximity to one another. Here, some kind of changes in the dynamics, or perhaps your financial management is also undergoing a little change. All right, so if you've been feeling slightly, perhaps if you lack confidence in yourself, in your abilities, in your talents, this will become more apparent during this full moon, or it may be. And this is also a time when you might be thinking about what you can do to help yourself to feel more, perhaps confident within yourself. Okay, now watch out for anyone who will try to perhaps overpower you or dominate you or have some kind of negative influence upon you around this full moon, because the moon is your ruler and the moon is in opposition to Pluto. So you could be more prone to attract this kind of energy situations. So if you see that this is the case, then try to generally step back and perhaps release the excess of negative energy on doing something creative and soothing. Okay, so let's now move into Leo. Leo, this is a big one for you because it's happening in your first house. So a full moon in the first house in your sign brings anything to do with your persona, anything to do to the self or with the self. Your physical appearance comes into light. If you want to change your style, if you've been wanting to change your style, your hairstyle, you might very well do that around this full moon. There's this heightened awareness of the self when the full moon occurs in our first house. But at the same time, think about what you've been up to around that end of July new moon in Leo 2022, because during this full moon, this could be a pretty important full moon for you, especially if you have any placement around 5 degrees of Leo. So see how this plays out for you, because usually a full moon is like a breakthrough, a time of a release, but also time opportunity to move forward. Because whatever you've been working on since that new moon would have fulfilled its purpose, and now it's time to either complete it or move into the next stage, modify it. Now, at the same time, there's a lot happening in your 7th house, of course. Uranus is about to station direct on the 27th in your 10th house. So this full moon could also be connected to your goals, your ambitions, professional life. And for some Leos, this could be about an upcoming opportunity or that need to break away from whatever is bothering you. If you've been experiencing some difficulties in these one-to-ones with someone at your work, with a client, or even if you with your partner, then when Uranus stations direct, you might decide that you want to implement some changes in order to generally move away from these negative energies. But at the same time, if something has been really bothering you, now this Uranus here is helping you to generally implement the necessary changes to break away. And so there could be some changes in dynamics here. Following this full moon with Uranus stationing direct, Venus, the ruler of your 10th house, connects really well with Saturn and Jupiter, both applying aspects which are about what is about to happen. Separating are connected to what has already happened. They are not as strong, but applying aspects, it's here what's about to occur. And whatever that you decide here around this full moon, because this could be a time of some major decisions, your goals, objectives are highlighted, and think about what is it that you want? What is it that makes you happy? Because this is an opportunity for really implementing some healthy changes into your life so that you are happy with your life moving forward. So it's a lot about you, even though the relationships are highlighted, but you also need to think, what is it that you want? Okay, so now let's have a look at Virgos. Okay, Virgos, this is happening in your 12th house. Okay, so the 12th house it is the area of hidden matters, subconscious mind, and with a full moon in the 12th house, we usually absorb external energies or other people's energies very easily, like a sponge. So it's very essential here to make sure that you find some time for rest, whatever that you find enjoyable. And often during a full moon in the 12th house, there's a greater need to withdraw, to contemplate, to spend time alone, because you need to recharge yourself in order to get yourself out there when necessary. But here, especially since at the end of February, there is a full moon in Virgo, which will be very significant for you. So take this full moon in Leo to recharge yourself. Aquarius season is a busy season for you. The 6th house activation, lots of activities, responsibilities, duties, deadlines could be very much the case. At this point, we only we're only at the beginning of this season, but as we move forward, you will see when Mars moves here on the 13th of February, things will definitely pick up as well. So full moon is also connected to generally that need to think things through, but on a deeper level. You might be also overthinking some aspects of your life. There is often insomnia that comes into play because our mind, our emotions are overactive, and it's essential to find a way to release them. Otherwise, you'll be absorbed with so many different energies that it will be difficult to concentrate. So, generally, find an outlet, maybe a creative outlet, to help you release these energies. And whatever you find soothing, often spirituality is highlighted here. If you enjoy anything to do with self-growth and some self-help books, this could be a good time for doing so as well. Now, you might also enjoy retreats, going on a retreat. If there has been some issues that you've been experiencing connected to your mental health, to any negative habits you may have developed in the last few months, they will become more apparent because you might actually realize that they are affecting your daily life, your well-being. This is also a time to break away or find a way to break away moving forward from these negative habits, routines, whatever it is, because this way you can really move forward with your goals, with your purpose, especially since on the 27th, Uranus will station direct in your 9th house. So there is this shake-up, unexpected, maybe situations, decisions you'll be taking to get back on track and reach your goals and reach your purpose, especially since Jupiter is here. And on the 25th of May, Jupiter will move into your 10th house, which is connected to growth in the career sense. Okay, so let's have a look at Libra. Libra, for you, this is happening in your 11th house. So here, groups and friendships are highlighted. And with the full moon here in opposition to Pluto, and also the sun rules your 11th house, it is here separating from a conjunction with Pluto. This is connected to some changes in your friendship circle, friendship zone. This could be connected to moving away from some connections in your life. Perhaps new people have arrived or entered your life, but there is some change of dynamics taking place in during Aquarius season connected to here your friendships. So perhaps moving away from some connections, other people are entering your life. This is kind of dynamics will be taking place. Perhaps this is about having an important conversation with a friend, something that might come into light. And perhaps you'll be performing or doing some, perhaps presenting some work, or you could be organizing a workshop. With this full moon, if you've been perhaps finding it difficult to express yourself freely, then this full moon could help you to truly understand why, and hopefully find a way to fix whatever needs to be fixed, especially with that Jupiter being a focal planet in the 11th house, in the 8th house of transformation. At the same time, you might be also involved in some kind of participation in a social event. Perhaps this could be about going to opera, going to a theater, or anything connected to that Leo energy, which is castles, palaces. But usually the 11th house is about large groups. So like a theater, opera would be definitely the case. You've got lots of energy centered in your area of home as well. Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter. Perhaps you'll be hosting a family event or having friends over. But, or perhaps you'll be introducing your partner to your family or our social circle. So this could be also very much the case. So here we go. Thank you very much, Libras. And let's move into Scorpio. Hello, Scorpios, and welcome. So here, this is happening, this full moon is happening in your 10th house. So whenever there is a full moon in a 10th house or in the 10th house, this is when we become popular or more popular than usual. The moon is fully visible during a full moon. So there is this heightened awareness and heightened emotions, and perhaps you'll be implementing some changes into your career. Perhaps you feel a greater or a stronger need to learn more, or to perhaps expand your knowledge, or perhaps you're moving in a slightly different direction this year and exploring different kind of territories in order to perhaps grow and experience more fulfillment in this area of life here, especially since you've got the nodes and the eclipses activating your sixth house of work, lifestyle, and employment. So for many Scorpios, this year is really significant when it comes to your work dynamics. And here we've got the sun separating from Pluto, and the sun rules your 10th house. So this month overall, in January, Aquarius, you could be implementing some necessary changes into your professional life, your outside world, public life. Now, on a different level here, for those who are actively involved in some major projects, business growth, then this full moon could produce some really interesting outcomes and results, ability to move forward to the next stage, to the next level. On a different level, you could be completing a major project as well. This could be a time of recognition for some people, a greater perhaps awareness which direction you want to go moving forward. We've got this T-square happening as well. Perhaps you need to find a healthy balance between the home and the career life. Good time management. And perhaps there will be also an opportunity for a collaboration in the upcoming weeks with Uranus stationing direct, Jupiter still in your 7th house. So this can mean that you will meet someone interesting or someone influential. It doesn't have to be in a love sense, but a friend, an acquaintance, a connection, someone with whom you can grow, or someone who will encourage you to grow in some way. Thank you very much. And let's move into Sagittarius. Sagittarius, for you, this full moon will be in your 9th house. And the 9th house deals with our life direction, first of all. So if you've been feeling like you're not following the right path, or if you're kind of not on the right track, so to speak, then this full moon will make it more apparent, and will make you really and truly contemplate which direction you want to go, which direction you want to take. For some, this could be a strong need to learn, absorb knowledge, improve your knowledge, or learn additional skills in order to move up in your career ladder. Because remember, you've got an eclipse. Well, next year there will be a series of eclipses on your 10th and the 4th house, and this year we've got an eclipse in Pisces in the 4th house. But then the sun will be in the 10th house along with the new moon. So there is some kind of activity, especially in September. But with this full moon, yes, if you think that you need some additional skills in order to find the right job, or in order to find more fulfillment in your career, then this full moon could make it more visible. But here, having said that, with all that fixed energy, you have to put some effort and perhaps do some digging in order to find answers, because it can lead to some kind of growth in the area of employment and here in your 6th house. At the same time, if you've been involved in a court case, this could be a major peak and a time of breakthrough. Generally here, could be when this could be like a highlight of major events, finally a culmination. And then following this full moon, this could be like the final phase of this court case. Now, at the same time, if you want to travel, make sure that you check if your passport is up to date, visa as well. There's this opposition from Pluto, and if things are not going to be that straightforward or easy, so it's essential to really be one step ahead Now, on a different level, you might also crave some activities that will help you to implement more spontaneity and fun into your life, especially if you felt like your life has been overly monotonous. When it comes to travel, you could be either planning or a trip or traveling. Perhaps you're planning a ski holiday, for example, in the Alps, in Austria. Or perhaps France is also highlighted, Germany, Koblenz, especially Linz in Austria. Now, another location that is connected to that Leo energy is Sicily, Turkey, Prague in Czech Republic, for instance, as well, Bristol in England. All right, so here we go. Thank you very much, Sagittarius, and let's move into the next sign. Hello, Capricorns, and welcome to your horoscope for the upcoming full moon. And this full moon will be in your 8th house. So here with a full moon in the 8th house, the area of taxes and also the area of insurance companies, accountants. So with a full moon here and the T-square, the fixed T-square, on the one hand, you could be dealing with personal tax payments. This could be also about perhaps having to cover your house insurance, car insurance. And on a different level, this is also connected to perhaps even changing some of your providers. Perhaps you're changing your house insurance provider. Perhaps your accountant recently resigned, or you decided that you want to change your accountant. So you will be looking for someone new. This could be very much the case as well. This could be also about receiving some payouts. If you've been expecting money from, or you applied for some government scheme, then during this time you might also receive this money. But generally here, this could be also about having to deal with lots of paperwork, documents, payments at this time. Lots of fixed energy that requires you to push forward, but perhaps you'll be implementing some changes as well into this area of life. As I said, changing the providers like accountants or insurance companies or your mortgage advisor. You have to implement a little bit of effort here because of that fixed energy. But overall, here with the 8th house, this is also connected to the transformation you might be going through. Now, Pluto is in your 2nd house, so there is this big and intense energy that is connected to some transformative changes moving forward in how you earn your money, in your income sphere, your financial or earning capabilities, for example, but at the same time, self-esteem, self-worth. So this is also connected to healing, moving away from some fears or deeply rooted feelings and emotions. And here during this full moon, the moon doesn't feel very comfortable in the 8th house. And it might actually remind you of some deeply rooted feelings, unhealed emotions. And perhaps there is a need to heal your inner child. So this is what you could be working on. Self-help books, perhaps you're starting a therapy, or perhaps you're getting a reading, an astrology, a reading, or a human design, or a tarot reading, whatever it is, here with Jupiter being activated in your fifth house and also Uranus on the 27th, you could very well be able to release some of these deeply rooted feelings and unhealed emotions as well. Especially if here we are, since we are approaching the Chiron and North Node conjunction, which will be exact in February. And this is in your 4th house. The 4th house is in that emotional area of life. So here during this full moon, you could be taking some necessary steps to move away from some blockages, emotional blockages that stop you from being your true self. All right, so let's move into the Aquarian here chart. Aquarius, this is happening in your 7th house. And the 7th house deals with our relationships, one-to-one relationships, connections, partnerships. It's generally this house rules connections we have with other people, contracts as well. And here, this is this is a huge year overall for you, a massive, massive year. Without a doubt, Pluto is now in your 1st house. If your ascendant is at a very, very late degree of Aquarius and you have nothing else, then you will probably only feel the intensity, the true intensity of Pluto when Pluto comes into your ascendant degree. But overall here, a transformation of the self is undergoing here, a big change, definitely. Now, this full moon could lead to an important conversation that you may have with your significant other, with your business partner, with your therapist, with your boss. Because during this full moon, whatever has been overlooked, never discussed, might become suddenly apparent, visible, noticeable. And it's essential to break away from these negative patterns. Something that, whatever that blocks your ability to feel free, confident, and experience that emotional fulfillment in general. But here you've got this opposition with the Sun and Pluto, and the Sun rules your seventh house, and it is separating from a conjunction with Pluto. So there is some change of dynamics here in these one-to-ones. This could be related to your partner going through major changes. Perhaps you're expecting a child, or yes, perhaps you're expecting a child. Perhaps your partner is going through some major life changes that are influencing or having a strong impact upon you, upon your persona, upon your well-being. This is also connected to having to make an important decision, perhaps with your business partner, with someone with whom you have collaborated or want to collaborate or sign a contract. And this could be a landlord, this could be a business partner, or some kind of business provider of some sort. Because for many Aquarius, this is definitely a time when you are growing something that will help you to feel free, happy, independent. And this could be your business. I saw many Aquarius rising individuals who are building something of their own. And here with this full moon, this could be related to your business and professional life growth. Perhaps you are implementing some necessary changes to take your business to the next level, and this has an influence upon your home. You're working hard. Perhaps you want to make positive changes, move to a better or a bigger home. And it is possible, but it will require some work, some dedication as per that fixed energy. And Pluto will stay in your sign for 20 years. So this is just the beginning. Your life will transform on a massive scale in the next 2 decades. I know, speaking from my experience anyway, because as I told you in the previous videos, I was born with Pluto in the first house. And while Pluto stayed in my first house, I went through lots of changes that shaped my life in many ways. But yes, this full moon is about these one-to-ones. So someone here, the attention is on the other person, on your significant other, on your partner or your business partner. And here there is something brewing in the air that needs to be resolved. Perhaps you might have to get out of your comfort zone, implement the necessary changes in order to move forward. And it is possible, it is achievable. But overall here, there's a lot of attention upon yourself, upon your life as well, as we are in the Aquarius season. Now, if you've been in an unhappy and healthy relationship, there's perhaps this full moon is about having this more important conversation, having to make this important decision, whether you want to stick with it or with this person, or whether you want to leave. So this could be very much also the case. All right, so now let's move into Pisces. Pisces, this is happening in your sixth house. The sixth house deals with anything to do with everyday life, lifestyle changes, small pets. So perhaps you will be getting a small pet if you've been wanting for quite some time. At the same time, your health is emphasized. So for many Pisces rising, this is a time when you'll go through some health checkups, or you might have a blood test, or if you recently had surgery, then this is a peak of that healing process. And following this full moon, this is when you will finally feel that you are recovering, that you're getting better. This full moon is also about implementing the necessary changes into your life, because the moon is changeable energies, and it's fixed as well. So you have to implement a little bit of effort, some planning, but lifestyle changes could be on the horizon as well. If you feel like things are a little bit out of the ordinary, out of order, then this full moon will prompt you to get back on track, at least a little bit, at least substantially. Overall, Aquarius season is a time of withdrawal, contemplation, and you might feel like you really want to think things through. You might feel like you're overwhelmed, and it's a good time to just generally find some time to yourself, find some time to recharge your energies as well, because you will need it. Once the sun moves into Pisces, you will regain your energies, you will regain your strength. Then in the second part of March, Mars will move here. So the overall Aquarius season is great for making plans and for perhaps reassessing, reevaluating what needs to be done, what needs to be changed, what makes you happy, what makes you unhappy. And once Mars and the Sun move into your first house, you will crack on and take action and get going. So this full moon is connected to lifestyle changes, work related changes. This could be about dealing with major deadlines, having important conversation with someone at your work, or even with a friend, because it's a very, on the one hand, you've got the sun in 12th house. So yes, a time of withdrawal, contemplation, but with lots of energies here in the 11th house. So there could be also some supportive energy coming from a friend or some friends. As per that, especially Venus in Capricorn energy present at this time. So while you feel like you want to withdraw, you've got some supportive energy here of a female that will help you to get through some maybe difficult times. Communication is highlighted as well, and you might enjoy journaling, you might enjoy social media, or just creating posts and sharing your thoughts, perhaps from behind the scenes, by posting things without showing yourself too much, for instance. But okay, I think that's what I've got for you today. Thank you very much, Pisces. All right, so we reached the final sign for this forecast. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this video. Happy full moon in Leo, and until the next time, bye for now.